First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Tsongkhong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dubten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the group practice today, Mahajundi Buddha Mother, the great victorious Vajra. Simu, Tanzen Gatso, Duten City, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma assistants, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, all disciples present here and over the internet. Good evening, everyone. How do you do? Aisteru. Sarangi. Hola, amigo. Te quiero mucho. Sukoin. Ichiban. Kimochi ii. Jumi. Yappy. Bling bling. Konbanwa. Good evening, everyone. How do you do? Today it's Jundi Buddha Mother. Of the 8 primary deities of True Buddha School, Jundi Buddha Mother belongs to the system of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. But Jundi Buddha Mother has tremendous power. So in the Dharmadhatu Mandala or Vajradhatu Mandala, Jundi Bodhisattva has her own court. So every Bodhisattva has their placements, and Jundi Buddha Mother has her special place that belongs to Jundi Buddha Mother. So how do I explain it? So in the mandala painting, there's her territory, her own place. There are many Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, but not each one of them has their own territory. And her Vajra name is the great or the most victorious Vajra. And before the Dharma teaching, I would like to start with a joke. The teacher asked Xiaoming, the teacher asked all the students, anyone can prove if they are a neat freak? And Xiaoming replied, I take a bath once every 6 months. And the teacher asked, why so long? And Xiaoming replied, because I think the water is dirty. So I think when we were little, the winter time, such a cold weather like today, we are too lazy to take shower. This kind of weather. We would tell our moms, it's so cold today, so let's just wash our feet. Because we were lazy, so we didn't want to take a bath. Just wash our face and feet. But I remember Wang Luoping, the folk singer in Xinjiang called Wang Luoping. I met him in Singapore once and he took refuge in me. So I asked him, the Uyghur, I heard that they shower very rarely. So I asked him if they take a bath every day. And Wang Luoping replied, they bathe twice in their lives. The first one is when they were born, and the second one was when they get married. And then he added, actually just once, which is when they were born. And they don't even take a bath when they get married. Do you know? The Uyghurs from Xinjiang. If you know, please raise your hands. Well, you don't know because you're not Uyghur. So it's the custom there. Now we will do question and answer. I heard that composer singer Wang Luoping told me. Asked by Lianhua Li Hong from Malaysia. For those tantric or Taoist practices that cannot be found in your written or oral teachings, nor on the internet, nor TBSN, which is True Buddha Prajna Wisdom Trove, such as secret formula to a deity practice, to a certain deity practice, that was supposed to be secretly transmitted to a Dharma propagator who has supposedly received Grandmaster's permission to transmit or teach it. Even with Grandmaster's handwritten memo or public announcement, some are real and some are fake. So, Grandmaster, other than choosing to believe or not, how can we discern? So, just now we saw the TBSN. So most of my tantric dharma that have been publicly transmitted are written in my books. Even those that have not been publicly transmitted should be available in the Tubi Boye. Only very few that are not there.
要怎么分辨？其实也是蛮困难，有的是真的，也有是假的。他说有真的，有假的。师尊给予手艺。
There's some real, some are fake.
曾经有一位出家众，但是呢，他的出家
There was an ordained monk. I did not ordain him, he ordained himself. And he copied Grandmaster's signature. He practiced every day. What was his name? The family name is Huang, like yellow, Huang. His name was Huang Jielin. He copied, he learned my signature. Of course, it's easy to copy someone's signature. So, like Grandmaster's signature is like this, and you practice every day until you're familiar. So he made his own dragon robes, and then he signed it, and then he said, "This is Grandmaster's." So please don't buy dragon robes just from anybody. You should buy it directly from Grandmaster. Then that would be the real one. Dragon robes that have been worn by Grandmaster. If you get it from anywhere, sometimes the signatures is fake. I heard there was a disciple that all his statues, his dankas, his dragon robes, all have Grandmaster's signatures. And they were all signed by this person, Huang Jielin. And Grandmaster never gave him a handwritten memo. But he did write it himself, signed it himself, that he was Rinpoche. So that other than Dutan Siddhi, he claimed that he was a secretly appointed Rinpoche. So that did happen. But for this Dharma practices, you use your own wisdom to differentiate, to discern. Or you can write a letter to Buddha Foundation to ask, and Grandmaster will answer you at the True Buddha Foundation. So, write a letter to Buddha Foundation, and Grandmaster, whenever there are questions, every time I will give the answers at the True Buddha Foundation. I'm still here, so I can answer you directly, personally. But if one day I'm not here anymore, then it would be impossible for me to answer. Then you have to rely on your own wisdom to discern. If it is a good Dharma practice, then that would be good. But if it is a Dharma practice to scam some money, then that would be wrong. That would be wrong. So that's the answer. Now, Grandmaster is still here, so you write letters to Buddha Foundation and I will give you an answer. So that's how you discern. And one day, if Grandmaster is not here anymore, then you pray to Grandmaster to appear and give you an answer. We have fellow disciples from California today here. Please stand up. Was it your sister? Elder sister passed away. Who saw Grandmaster appearing and delivering? The elder sister, Grace. So Grace saw Grandmaster appearing and delivering Alice. Your name is also Alice. This Alice is a scientist. Your second sister is also Alice. And that Alice has gone to the Pure Land because Grandmaster delivered her. So it can be seen. So if you ask Grandmaster, is this Dharma practice a real one? And Grandmaster appeared and nodded his head and nods his head, then yes, it's a real one, then you can practice it. If Grandmaster shakes his head, then that would be a fake one. So Grace could also see Grandmaster guiding someone to the Pure Land. So Grandmaster can appear anytime. Many people can have the seeings or the sightings. And this person, that person, I appeared in Malaysia, in Indonesia, in China, any country. So how do we discern? Because Grandmaster is still alive, you write a letter to Buddha Foundation and I will give you an answer. The next question asked by Lian Hua from United States. First, homage to the living Buddha for your continual compassionate blessings and teachings. I am perplexed even after much thought about this question. After hesitating for a long time, I decided to ask Grandmaster to provide explanation to this stupid disciple of yours. Recently, when I am scared in the dream, I visualize Grandmaster sit on top of my head, holding the sword mudra toward a little girl in white who appeared from a burning fire and walked toward me while loudly chanting Om Ahom until she turned around. Then I woke up. I am really puzzled because normally I don't especially chant Om Ahom. So how come, for no reason, in urgency, I was able to do that? I also do not understand the real meaning of these three characters. Could you please provide detailed explanation on this wonderment? And when should we chant Om Ahom? Thank you, Grandmaster.
他看见一位从烟火中出来，
She saw someone walking out from a burning fire,
他在梦中
a little girl in white,
他
and
观
walking
想
toward
四分
her,
驻地，
and she
用
was
箭
scared in
矢
the
指
dream.
向一位从烟火中出来，走向自己的白衣
Once
小女
visualized Grandmaster sit on top of my head holding the sword mudra
啊，
toward the little girl in white, while loudly chanting Om Ahom.
太多的解释，
There are many explanations to Om
太多的
Ahom,
解释。
many of them.
基本上，我讲了，基本上，我们念这个咒
Basically, we chant this mantra,
Om
Om Ahom. Pecha Guru Padma Siddhi Hom Se.
贝扎咕噜贝玛西蒂吽se，就是莲花生大师的咒。
That's the Guru Padma Sambhava's mantra.
Om Ahom Padma Guru Padma Siddhi Hom. 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 这个 Om Ahom 在这里
So Om Ahom
莲花生大师的咒
here,
Om 宇宙最
Guru Padma
主要的
Sambhava's
意思
mantra, Om meaning the
啊
most important
就是显现
consciousness
的
in the universe,
它的本尊
and Ah
Hom
appearing the
是圆
Yidam,
满
and Hom is
Om
perfection.
Ahom 最主要的意义
So the most
宇宙
important
的意
meaning
识就是
of Om Ahom. The consciousness of the universe is Om. Appearing as the Yidam is
是
Ah,
圆满
and Hom is complete and perfect.
Om Ahom
Om
在这里的
Ahom.
意思是这样子。
That's the meaning here.
那么你讲的，你念的
And you
Om
said
就是
Om Ahom.
等于是说宇宙意识
The consciousness of the universe,
莲花童子，你的
there
祈求
appeared Padma Kumara,
圆满，
and your wish will be
在
completed.
这里的 Om Ahom 就是这个意思。你的祈
So
求圆满
here, the meaning of Om Ahom
那
is
你
that
师
your
尊
wish
敬礼
is
用
granted.
剑指向
And
一个烟
Grandmaster
火
sit
中
on
出
top of
来
the
走向
head,
自己的白衣
holding
小
the
女
sword
孩
mudra toward a little girl in
当
white
然就是表示
who
说
appeared from a burning
宇
fire.
宙的意识
So of
显
course it
现出
means
莲花童子。
the consciousness of the universe appearing as Padma Kumara or Grandmaster and using the sword mudra
圆满
pointed toward the little girl.
啊，圆满悉地，一种动力出现，后
There's a kind of Dharma power appears and
那
perfect
这
and
小女孩就
complete
回头就
and home. And the little girl turned around and walked away. So,
不知道你满意不满意？
are you satisfied with this kind of answer?
所以刚刚讲了 Om 就是宇宙意识，
So, just now I said Om is the consciousness
就
of
是
the
出现
universe.
本尊，
Ah is the appearance of the Yidam. And
是法
Hom
力圆满。
is complete Dharma power. complete or perfect Dharma power. And this is Lian Hua Ye San from Indonesia. Lian Hua Shi Ye San, a beloved Grandmaster Amitabha. I would like to ask a question that have been on my mind for a long time. I hope you explain and solve. If we help someone take refuge in Grandmaster, afterwards we found out that he or she does not respect Grandmaster, does not sincerely take refuge, even worse, even starts to slander Grandmaster everywhere and tells people not to follow Grandmaster. We, as the intermediary person who brought this person to take refuge in Grandmaster, have we also harmed Grandmaster and harm him or her to create bad karma? Although it is that person who defamed Grandmaster, we never ask that person to do so, but because of this connection, do we also create bad karma? And we also suffer the consequences of harming Grandmaster. Because we didn't know what's on their minds, we did not know that they could change to harm the school. Nowadays, I don't dare bringing anyone to take refuge anymore. What should I do so I can have peace of mind in helping Grandmaster to guide people to take refuge in in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha? Please help solve this problem that has been bothering me for quite some time. I am very sorry that have brought people who now turn out to be harming Grandmaster and True Buddha School. I'm sorry, Grandmaster. Thank you. Lian Hua Yi San with palms folded. This is fine. No problem. Because your intent was good, but the result was bad. It's okay. It's no problem. All we see is your motive, your intent. Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and all divinities also only look at your intent and motive. If your intent or motive is good, it brought some harms. But if your motive and your intention was good, it's okay. That's why Grandmasters once said that if 1 out of 10 disciples left and abandoned spiritual cultivation, it's okay. I still have 9. Because with 1 leaving, there are 10 people coming. And out of this 10, 1 of them leaves. And then there are another 10 coming. So, Lian Hua Ye San, so if there's 1 who left, then you should guide 10 more people onto the path. Then it's okay. You know, we cannot say that anyone taking refuge will never abandon the path. So that's why in our marriage dedication, good health, all calamities transform into auspiciousness, and also a strong spiritual commitment, and this is very important.
活在这世界上，
It's very simple, living in this
除
world,
了读书、
other than studying,
做事业、
career,
结婚、
getting married,
生孩子，
bearing children.
那还有别的事吗？
Anything else?
因为怎么样，我们出生，
Other
我们每
than
一个人
those,
出生，
because every one of
他
us,
就开始读书了，
when we are born,
毕业
then we start to
就开始
study.
找事情了，
After we graduate, we look for work.
做了事赚钱了。
And after you work and
有的
earn
有
a
的时候就
living,
在学校就已经开始在爱情了，在恋爱。
and some people, they start to date in school, some after
啊
they
毕业
work
了以后，
or after they have a
再有爱
career,
情，
they
然后就结
start
婚
having romantic love, and then they get married, and then they have children,
再来呢，小孩子长大了，
and the children grow
又
up,
重复你的生活，
and they repeat your life. They start to
开始
study
做事业，
and
又结婚
to build their career and
哎
get married
又生孙子了，
and bear grandchildren.
那你已经老了。等到
And
你
now you're
做了
old.
祖父祖母，你已经老了，
Once you become grandpa or
那老了怎么办呢？
grandma, you're
到
old
最后你就
already.
死了。
And then what?
这个就是
You
人生
die.
嘛。
That's a human life is all about.
那这样子循环，
It's
在那
all
边
in
循环
circle.
循环循环循
It's
环
just cycling
一
and
个生一
cycling.
个死，一个生一个死，在那边循环，
Birth and death, birth and death.
有很多造了业的，
And
甚
many
至于
people
不
have
能得到人
created
生。
bad karma and they cannot be reborn as a human
我们
being.
也知道啊，什么都带不走的。
We know that we cannot
人家
bring
也会忘
anything
记。
with us, and even people would have
上师
forgotten
尊
you.
记得我的祖父叫卢昌，
Grandmaster remembers my
曾祖父
grandfather is called Lu Chang,
我就不
but
知
my
道。
great grandfather, I don't know.
差不多，祖父叫卢昌，父亲是卢尔顺，
My grandpa is called Lu Chang,
那
my
我
father
祖
is
母
Lu
叫卢
Ersun,
端相，
and my grandma called Lu Yu Xiang,
这个黄
and my
玉
mom was called Huang Yini.
那你的曾祖母呢？我不记得了，
And how about
大
your
概记
great
得两
grandmother?
代，就是
I
祖
don't.
父、
I just remember 2 generations,
祖父、祖母、
parents
父亲
and grandparents.
那你的祖坟在哪里 ？I don't know， 不知道。
So where's
在中
your
国大陆，
ancestral
在福建，
tombs? I
在
don't
泉
know.
州。
In China, in
我
Quanzhou,
是福
Fujian
建
province.
我祖父是福建
My
泉州
grandfather
汾阳堂，
came from 汾阳
知道
堂,
就是这样。
Quanzhou, Fujian. That's all I knew.
人家总有一天会忘记你的。
One day they
过了
will
3
forget
代以
about
后
you. After 3 generations, that's about it.
佛教就是教你
So
离开
Buddhism
轮回，
teaches you to abandon the cycle, the rebirth cycle.
人都会老，都会死。
Human
师
beings
尊有很多宝贝，
will get old and die.
人家讲说，哎，
Grandmaster has many treasures.
宝贝，
What treasures?
钻石啊，
Diamonds, gold.
我有啊，
I have them.
借你呆看几十年，
Only loaned to you for a few decades. I don't wear any now. I have
最
diamonds.
好的钻石
My best diamond
33克拉，
is 33 carats.
弟子送的，
Was
现在
offered
放在
by a
银行的保险
disciple.
柜
Now it's in the safety deposit box.
很难看得到。
It's hard to even take a look at it.
33克拉的钻石啊，
33 carat
你知
diamond.
道谁戴过吗？
You
玛
know
丽莲梦露
Who's worn something like that?
戴
Marilyn
过
Monroe
33克拉的钻石，
has worn 33
师尊也有
carat
一颗
diamond,
33克拉的
and Grandmaster too has one. 33 carat diamond. You can ask your cell phone, the internet, how much it is. And Grandmaster has gold bars, 1 kilo gold bars. Now 1 bar is between 40 to 50,000 US dollars. 1 kilo bar. It's heavy to move it. So if you take a 5 kilo things, it feels light, but for gold bars, it feels very heavy. You cannot move. I have several bars. They are expensive. But can I bring them with me? Leaving the world? No. It's difficult to even take a look at them. I buried them on the ground, under the ground, and you have to dig them out to take a look at them, to see them. That's impossible. They're not yours. So whoever that find it or dig it out would belong to them. And it doesn't belong to them either. Just for them to be in charge of for a few decades. Houses. I have several houses in Taiwan. In America, I don't buy, just what I need to live in. So one is 10¾ and then the South Mountain Retreat, which is bigger, and the 10¾ is smaller. Grandmaster has cars too, offered by disciple. Rolls Royce, Maserati. It was translated in Taiwanese as the Poseidon, the ocean god. Half sports car, and Grandma's very satisfied with 2 cars. But all this are just loaned to you, and one day they will age and become broken, and you cannot bring them with you. Those are the best kinds of things. Money, yeah. I have money in the bank. One more zero, you would feel happy for a little bit. With 1 more zero, you feel happy. But can you use them? No. I eat at the Lizang temple. What I wear is this Lama robe. Where I reside is the South Mountain Retreat. And when I drive is Rolls Royce. Can I bring them? When I leave? No. And the money, can I bring it? No. Because there's no use. I don't need to use money. All the money that I use now is only for gas.
Go to gas station, buy the gas.
That's about it. Money. I don't need money for anything else, so my money has no use. Let me tell you, only Buddha Dharma is useful. You should guide more people to take refuge. You cultivate yourself to put it into practice yourself, generate bodhicitta, widely deliver sentient beings. and guide them that only Buddha Dharma is useful now. What use is Buddha Dharma? To abandon the rebirth cycle, to go to the Buddha land, or to have attainments in the four sagely realms. Only that is useful. Everything else is useless. So, all the living must die. All gatherings will separate. Once you meet or gather, you would go separate ways. And existence become non-existence. Everything that you have collected a lot of things, and in the future they all will be gone. That's for sure. So my outfit is this Lama robe and the dragon robe. I cannot buy anything. And what I eat is those. This is all I wear. That's all I eat. And I live in the South Mountain retreat. And my transport is the car. And all I spend is for gas. That's it. I don't spend any other money. So my money is always there. It's always this thick. I never spend it. I never spend any money. That's all. See, human life, how much. So, even after writing it that many times, and so how many times, and so what? The elder generations are all gone. My relatives, they're all gone. Now, our generations are still here. The siblings, we are next. Our parents' generation are all gone. But you want to live with a radiant light, with bright light, with attainments. And the only thing that can allow that is Buddha Dharma. Therefore, we have to deliver sentient beings. Although some people breach their commitment to spiritual cultivation, that's their bad luck, because they only pass by with the Buddha. They only brush their shoulders with the Buddha and left. So they are unlucky. The most important thing is Buddha Dharma. You don't have to follow Grandmaster. You don't have to believe in Grandmaster. You only have to believe in Grandmaster's Buddha Dharma. not the person necessarily. Then you practice it. Then you learn from my strengths, not weaknesses. So you should just learn and see my strengths, not my weakness or shortcomings. This way, if you've learned the Buddha Dharma, then your attainments in the future will be incredible. So this Lien Hua Ye son from Indonesia should deliver more sentient beings, that every true Buddha school disciple should bring or guide other people to learn the authentic and true Buddha Dharma. Last Sunday, at the Rainbow Temple, when I was giving teachings on Lamdre, I mentioned about using which character to be placed at which part of the navel chakra, and then stack them together, and where which character, what color, and what kind of light, and their placements, locations, their functions, and their sensations. After I gone home, Golden Mother told me, don't talk too much about those. As long as your channel can tremble, as long as it can tremble, can vibrate, as long as your channels are open and the channels can vibrate, and your chakras can vibrate, and because of the vibration can open, that your brow chakra, throat chakra, heart chakra, navel chakra, secret chakra, if you can open your chakras, you can vibrate and open them, and if the channels can vibrate and the chakras can open, then these characters are not important. So Lamdre talked about it in great details, the colors of the characters, the placements and the functions, etc. But what she meant is that if the channels in your body can vibrate, like Grandmaster can shake like this, that all the channels in the body can shake and vibrate, and this is key, this is important. Golden Mother said, if your channels can vibrate, then you can open the 5 chakras or even the 7 chakras. So if you add the crown chakra and the base chakra, there would be 7 chakras. So that's what Golden Mother said. That's a method, the way to open the channels. But that's not as good as if you can shake or vibrate your chakras, then they would open. So that's what Golden Mother said last week. Now this is on point number 6, the different characters of the 3 spiritual experiences. The Om character gives rise to the kind of appearances. It is not possible to give rise to the other two kinds. The A character gives rise to the kind of emptiness, and it is not possible to give rise to the other two kinds. The Hong character gives rise to dual execution, and it is not possible to give rise to the other two kinds. So, can you explain what the kind of appearances, the kind of emptiness, and dual execution?
三接受之别，这个就是理论上的，实际上也是如此。
The different characters of the three spiritual experiences. This is in theory, but in reality it's also like this.
这个是咒日哈。
These are
你看那边有
mantra syllables. It's written there.
电视上有。
On the monitor.
由嗡日生现类，不可能生其两种。由二。The Om character gives rise to the kind of appearances. It's not possible to give rise to the other two kinds. The A character gives rise to the kind of emptiness. It's not possible to give rise to the other two kinds. And the Hong character gives rise to dual execution. And it's not possible to give rise to the other two kinds. I don't know. Okay, if you don't know, sit down. Dansen Katsu, you don't know. Actually, this is very simple. It's the translator. The family name is Wang. And the name Pa. He intentionally make it so convoluted so that you don't understand. What is the kind of appearances, the kind of emptiness and dual execution? We know about Om Ahom. We just talked about it earlier. Om is the consciousness of the universe. Everything in the world were generated from Om. So, the kind of appearances are real things. It represents that it was non-existent, and from Om they become existent. So Om is things that appear. So Om was the universe. And then there appeared like the sun or the 9 planets, the earth, the human beings, all living beings. They all generated from Om. So the kind of appearances is all the real things that appeared. You can just say the Om character gives rise to all kinds of existences. It is not possible to give rise to the other two kinds. And what are the other two kinds? They are emptiness and dual execution. So Om, the consciousness of the universe, there appear all things that exist. The second statement, from the A character, A is the wisdom deity in the space, and we also call that Yidam. And Yidam can enter into emptiness. So the Yidam that appeared from the universe can return to the consciousness of the universe. So gives rise to the kind of emptiness.
The Yidam, which is the wisdom deity, is the kind of emptiness. It's not possible to give rise to the other two kinds, which are the existence of the appearances and dual execution. The third statement, the home character gives rise to dual execution and not possible to give rise to the other two kinds. And what is the dual execution is between the existence and emptiness. Dual execution of existence and emptiness. There are many things that are in the scope of dual execution. So, dual execution, so home is complete. The Buddha Dharma said, they are everything exists. Everything exists. So existentialism, and then Buddha Dharma also says about everything is empty. So that's nihilism. And then there's a part of Buddha Dharma that talks about dual execution. So both existence and nihilism together. So the Heart Sutra said that emptiness is form and form is emptiness. That's dual execution. So form symbolizes existence and emptiness symbolizes emptiness. So form is emptiness and emptiness is form. So the two of them unite, and that's dual execution. So this excerpt on the different characters of the three spiritual experiences. One has spiritual experiences, one has no spiritual experiences, and then one more, both spiritual experiences and no spiritual experiences dually executed. Now you know. There are many kinds of dual executions, like in our spiritual cultivation. When we talk about development stage and completion stage, they are dual execution. Tantric Dharma, now the Gelugpa of Tibetan Tantrayana is the Prasangika Madhyamaka. Nagarjuna taught Madhyamaka, and Chandrakirti Bodhisattva has the Madhyamakavatara treatise, which is the treatise to enter into Madhyamaka, which is one of the 5 great treatises. That's by Chandrakirti. And that's for Prasangika Madhyamaka. And Madhyamaka, as taught by Nagarjuna, is the dual execution of existence and emptiness. Lots of things are considered to be dually executed. Those are Buddhist theory, dual execution in terms of Buddhist theory, which is the Prasangika Madhyamaka. Madhyamaka is a dual execution of existentialism and emptiness. The Grandmaster just said that in the future all of us will return to emptiness with nothing left. But now, at the present, you have to utilize the view of emptiness to resolve problems about afflictions and life. So afflictions actually are also empty. What is there to worry about? Why are you afflicted? Because in the future everybody would be the same. There's nothing to be afflicted about or to worry about. What is it that you're worried about? Nothing. I've said it before, that the human being is in heavens and his money is in the bank. His wife is at somebody else's chest, and his siblings are fighting for your inheritance. The inheritance exists, the wife exists, and the brothers also exist. The bank too exists, but you, the human being, is in heaven, so that's empty. So that's the dual execution of both existence and nihilism or emptiness. So now, at the present moment, you use money to do Bodhi work. You don't regard it as your own. So like Sang Yen Lu Foundation is performing Bodhi work to help other people. We know that everything is empty, but it doesn't mean that you don't do anything completely. So you need to understand the concept of the dual execution of emptiness and existence. You still have to earn a living, you have to work. You cannot say afflictions is empty, house is empty, the car is empty, the money is empty, then you don't have to do anything, then you're just sitting there waiting to die. But that will not work. So now we are dually executing existence and emptiness, and that's called the middle way, or Madhyamaka. Now you understand? When you eat, do you like your partner to sit in front of you or next to you? And he replied, I personally like they sit around me. When Xiaoming got home, told his parents, in school, the teacher asked a question only I could answer. The parents felt proud and asked, what questions? And Xiaoming replied, the question was, who did not do homework? That's a pragmatic question. Someone went to a pet shop that sells bird and asked the seller, the bird is $80 and the cage is $1,000. It should be Taiwanese dollars. The cage 1,000 and the bird 80 Taiwanese dollars. And the buyer asked the seller, why is the cage much more expensive than the bird? And the seller replied, so Isn't your house more expensive than you? This is kind of related to the dual execution. Inside the bird, inside the cage, if there is no bird, then it will not be called the bird cage. But if it is only a bird without a cage, that will not do either. So that is dual execution. Yesterday, medical students told me now they understand what is better death than living. Is that in the morgue there's air conditioning, but in our dorm room we have no air conditioning. So the dead is better than the living. Just have a laugh. That's all for today. Om Mani Padme Hum.
非常感谢法王。